Alright. I mentioned that I would like to do some special tonight because I feel like God put it into my heart, would like to share with you guys with my life experience recently, what happened in my thought process and my feelings, and what have I learned from my life. I would like to share with you guys. That's why I decided to stream tonight, even though this is not my regular schedule. And it's about some of the emotions I experienced recently. Actually, in the past few weeks, I have been fairly down. Not like depressed like that, but fairly sad and down. And I experienced this especially when my Twitch channel having got viewers as I expected, and also recently personal life I experienced some obstacles of my career development. I have a doctoral degree on counseling, but I have some trouble getting my licensure in the States. It's just that the process a little bit longer, and I may have to do extra work to meet the requirements. So it would take me some more years to finish the whole process. And these two things and combined together and make me feeling down. And I question myself that what is the meaning and measurements of success in my life, and why I'm feeling so down, why I am so not satisfied with the life I have right now. So that is why part of the reasons I stream tonight is to share with you guys what I have learned from this. Because to me, I spend a lot of time studying. I spend a lot of time and energy building my stream, Twitch, and uploading videos, and I have done a lot of work. And the things and upsets me on my career and the stream ministry, and really make me question my thinking process, what I am thinking, why I'm so upset, why I feel so disappointing and even really down or depressed. And I think I would like to share with you guys what I find out and what I think in my mind, the thought process how I'm thinking. So the first thing I realized that I really care about the viewers number, I did not really care about it at the very first beginning of my streaming, like last year. And at the beginning of this year, after coming back in February, I started to care a lot more about it. And I would get easily upset if I don't have anybody watching. And that was not really healthy, actually, since I found out myself. And the second is I care about others' opinion. Well, everybody cares about others' opinion, but the bad thing is if you put yourself down because other people's opinion, that may not be a good sign. So what I'm saying is that I found out myself care too much of viewers, numbers. I mean just numbers. I care about viewers, but if I care about too much about numbers, that is not healthy. And I care about too much people's opinion, and it defeats my personal self-worth. So I also compare myself with others and other streamers, and have a lot of experience and have a lot of viewers and wonderful opportunities, and I feel I fail like a failure and on opening this channel and doing ministry like this and being a streamer, a speaker. I feel a lot of unqualified characteristics in me, and really self-defeating. At the same time, I feel like I am nobody, I'm little. I put a lot of earthly definition of success on my personal experience, including my career, a good job, well, it have a good payment, and it have good career qualifications and those things to really match up with my degrees I earned, the experience I have, and I really thought a lot in the earthly way. So that kind of emotions also put me into a position that I don't have motivations to do things. So when I'm down, and I found myself really hard to focus on the things I'm supposed to do. And I also start to lose a little bit sight of hope. And I thought I would not see the future. Everything would not get really good and well. So that was me. Before I clear my mind, before God really took me back to who I really am before. So that was what's going on in the past couple of weeks, and I have to admit that, and that was me, very down and upset by that. But right now, this moment, I'm sitting here talking with you guys, and I'm not upset anymore because God pulled me out of that depression pit and that down pit, and He saved me, and I'm going to tell you how He did that.
Low and quiet does it. I need this. Being able to override you would help. Now where would I learn that?
Alright, we cleared this area, so pretty good. Okay, so I already told you guys how I was in the past couple of weeks and how I got into the position right now. I'm not upset. And the first thing I did is prayer. Because when I first realized I have been really down for a couple of weeks, and the first thing I shall do and I need to do is pray, because only God can help me out. So I pray, and I remember on one night last week, and I just prayed to God that, Lord, you help me, you save me, please. And I fully realized that I cannot help myself, because just like a person needs God, and you cannot clean your sin, the same thing. And I cannot just cheer myself up by my own strength. because I am a spiritual being. Everybody is. And we live not just because we need food. Even Jesus said we human beings live on earth not just only by food, but also by spiritual food, God's word. So I pray and help, really pray that the Lord help me out, and guide me with peace and joy in my soul again. And He really does. He gradually guides me to realize what's going on, and also He also touched brothers and sisters' hearts and care about us and asking us what's going on. It really helped to know that people care, no matter what your situation is and how tough your situations are. But when people care and you feel like you're not alone, that is exactly why I opened this channel. I want people, especially gamers, to feel not alone. They have a place and they have people to listen to their stories and get help when they need to. So I really appreciate my Christian brothers and sisters and really care. A couple of them some really awesome in the past weekend and took us out and care about us, asking what's going on, and truly touch our lives with love. So what I understand myself right now is God brought me back to understand why I opened this channel. Not because I want people's attention, but because I realize a need that only God can solve. Only God's words and God's love can melt people's hearts and warm up people's mind and everything. So I did it for God the very first beginning. And He brought me back to the realization that I did it for Him. So I should always remember I did it for Him, not for everybody else. And well, I did this for gamers. Yes, true. But at the same time, I did it for God. So God is my inspiration. God is my guide. God is my audience. And God is also the ultimate, the person I feel responsible for. So all I did here, no matter how many numbers of audience I'm going to have, I'm going to do it for God. And that is the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate purpose of this ministry. It's not just a regular Twitch, but it's a ministry in my mind. I just started it with Twitch streaming and with this channel, and I hope and I pray that I can put up some positive energy in this community and help out gamers and situations, to listen to the stories. I have listening ears in their life, and they'll have opportunity to know the truth and to know God's love and all kind of things. So it really helped
these machines.
to have God reminded me the original motivations that opening this channel, so it's really helpful to make me understand why I'm here and not to be upset by other factors. Usually I want everybody happy, so I don't call myself a people pleaser, but I definitely have a tendency to want to make a happy balance, to make everybody happy. If I can have the ability to make the peace and joy in everybody's heart. But at the same time, that God just showed me that I should think about what I can provide to the community, what I can do for each of you guys, and also stick with the truth and stick with the love. And that's very important. That is what I originally wanted to do in this channel, and so I just really hope I could do better at the same time and help you guys better. And it's just really awesome to be able to continue doing this, and I pray that I would not lose heart, I would not lose hope, and I would continue doing this because I do it for God. And another thing actually I was thinking is the measurement of success. Like, for example, take streaming as example. Yeah, that would be easier. What is a successful streaming? And I know people would say having audience and have interactions or reach a certain number of followers. So yes, if you do it as a business, and from that perspective, you could say, yeah, a streamer has 1,000 followers or 100 viewers could be very successful, and that's also how the partnerships will come in and subscriptions and those things. And I used to, at least in the past couple of weeks, I was very concerned of that, and I don't have any, and by comparisons, and feel really bad about myself. But when I calmed down and when God touched my heart, then I realized that as long as I did my best, as long as I did for God, and as long as I did my best to touch gamers, and I did my best to stream, I did my best to upload videos, I did my best to do marketing, and I don't feel regretted. And at the same time, I should not feel ashamed by what I did for God. And I think no matter whether I would be defined as earthly successful or not, God loves me very much, which is I know it and in my head, and I should also understand in my heart as well, because I am made fearfully and wonderfully by God, and God, our Father in heaven, loves me very much and loves you very much unconditionally. Not because you are a successful streamer, He loves you. Not because you make all A's, He loves you. But not because you behave all good, He loves you. He loves you no matter what. And that is an unshakable foundation of a person's identity, I would say. Because to me, at least, after realizing I am loved by God unconditionally, that is, nothing can separate me from God's love. And nothing, literally. Not even like career, not even like numbers of viewers, not even like successful, not even life or death. So it's really powerful, I think, to me, to be reminded by God that who I am and who He is in life, and truly change the perspective I feel about my current situations. It's like my situation or the circumstances does not change. I still who I am, and our situation is still the same. But God changed how I think. So that technically make me feel like much more peaceful and much more joyful, and much less anxious or concerned or down or worried and those things. It's just really amazing, and that's why I wanted to share with you guys with this stream. I'm not sure you may understand or not, but I just really want to tell you guys that maybe you're struggling, maybe you're trying to find who you are or why you're here, or struggling people's opinion on you, or trying to figure it out whether you are successful or not, and maybe you have the same struggle as mine. I just want to let you know that no matter what, God loves you very much, and He's very proud of you being His child, and you have the unconditionally love and never change identity as His child. So you are loved, you're valued, you're very important, unique and special. And I hope that will give you hope and give you strength. And that's very important no matter what we do. Because in the Bible it says no matter we eat or drink, do anything, do it for God, do it for the glory of God. So after thinking of this, and I think my stream is for God, and I honor His calling, His challenge for me to reach out gamers and to care about gamers, to love gamers. So here is my response. I opened a channel and started streaming, and continue uploading my videos, and trying to meet my viewers' needs and everything like that. So I'm still not perfect, and nobody's perfect, and I make mistakes constantly as well. So my prayer to myself is I will constantly remember why I opened this channel and keep me hopeful, keep me faithful, and be my best for gamers, be my best for the community, be positive and encouraging for everybody here. Every time when I'm here, then I hope that I will be as positive, as encouraging, as loving and caring, and faithful in every ways. And my prayer for you guys, no matter you are watching or listening, and I pray that the Lord would touch your heart, would touch your life, touch your soul in different ways and through different people in different events and circumstances. And I believe that everybody is loved by God and everybody is created by God. And I believe that everybody's life has value, has purpose and meanings. We may not know right now, sometimes it takes a while to find out, but God definitely has a plan, a unique, a big plan for your life. And when it comes to my career, and also to the Twitch as well, I think I need to feel more content. I need to feel more content, because I think when I'm not content and I feel a lot more down or easily sad, because I will compare. I will think myself disappointed. I will see myself not worthy. But if I am content with the situations or circumstances, be grateful and thankful and counting the blessing, I am sure I will feel much better. So another lesson I learned from God is that I need to be more content, be more grateful. So it's also in the Bible as well. It said, actually is one of the disciple of Jesus. He wrote in Philippians chapter 4 at verse 12 to 13, and he said,
Clever.
he spotted me. So in Philippians it said, I know what it is to have little, and I know what it is to have plenty. In any and all circumstances I have learned the secret of being well fed and of going hungry, of having plenty and of being in need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. So that is actually the lesson I learned, that I'm not having plenty, but well, being in United States, and as we, no matter how much we earn per hour, even just $7 an hour like I have right now, compared to many countries, we're still on the top of the pyramids. So I think I'm not absolutely in poverty.
I'm ready. Gotta be.
I'm not wealthy, but at the same time, I still have shelter, I have food, I have water, I have things God provide with grace and mercy. So it's the situation that sometimes we so easy to complain, but forget to be thankful and be content. No matter what situations we are, remember to count the blessing, to be grateful as who we are and what we are and how we are right now, because God provides. His grace is sufficient every day.
Now they're hunting me.
And I do believe that even though I'm not exactly getting the things I desire for my career right now, but I believe that God would use everything he had changed me in the past, and everything would make and be with the good. I don't know how they're gonna work it out yet, but I do believe that God has the ability to make everything work well.
Yet. I need to find a way to learn.
So that being said, I need to put more trust on God for my career, for my future, my everyday life, and even streaming. Because my life belongs to God, and I do my life, everything for God. Without Him, I would not be here. And without Him, I cannot do anything. So and finally, I would like to share some more scriptures with you guys too. It's in 1 John, and it said the faith already conquered the world. We also often say that Jesus Christ conquered the world already. He already won the battle, which is right. And in the Bible it said Everyone who believes that Jesus is the Christ have been born of God, and everyone who loves the parent loves the child. So whoever believes in God is a child of God and is loved by God. It's no doubt is written black and white, and that's why we call our God the Father in heaven, and it's so intimate, and the relationship is so close, it's so beautiful, and we have a Father in heaven. How wonderful it is. And then he also say, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey His commandment. For the love of God is this, that we obey His commandment, and His commandments are not burdensome. For whatever is born of God conquers the world, and this is the victory that conquers the world, our faith. Who is this that conquers the world? That the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. So, as the children of God and Christians who believe in God, and we're supposed to love each other and love God and obey God's command. Well, God's command is not like rigid laws and rules and forbid us to do this and that because He's mean. No, He asks us to do this and that because He loves us. He also gives us free wills to obey or disobey, and He respects our decisions, and decisions always have consequences. So disobey behavior always come with unpleasant consequences at the end, quite often. So He is disciplining us like a parent and loving us like a parent. And if God already won the world, if God already won the battle, and the faith has also won the battle, also conquered the world. And who is the person who conquered the world? It's Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And it's very comforting to see that we are living in the world. A lot of things in the world bothered us, struggled us, give us trouble and make us down and depressed. But the good thing is we believe in God. Our spiritual world is with Jesus Christ. So that is no doubt, and there's nothing, literally nothing can separate us with God. So that's so comforting, especially in this troubled world, and when we having all kinds of doubts and fears, and it's great to know that God is always there, always there, loving us and waiting for us and embracing us. And it's great, it's absolutely wonderful. And I'm so thankful He reminded me who I am, who He is, why I'm here, why I opened this channel, then how gracious and merciful He is in my life, and how much He has provided, and how much blessing He has given. All those, everything, I'm very grateful. And after thinking of all this, then I have no reason to complain, and no reason to say I'm not loved, and and no reason to continue drowning my little pity world and having my little pity party with myself. Because no matter what I do on earth, even though I may not be as successful as others in career, and maybe I'm not that successful in streaming, or even other things. But I know that in this world, I'm loved. Somebody feel very proud of me, and somebody love me unconditionally, and that's absolutely God. So it's great. It's awesome to have that confirmation coming from Him, and I'm very grateful. So that
Where's
is
the
the
signal my focus found.
so this is my lesson I learned. In the past couple weeks. So that's what I would like to share with you.
Machine saw me.